You are watching
Trinity Episcopal School Production Network. TESPN.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's TESPN broadcast of Prep League basketball as the St. Anne's Belfield Saints at 22-3, 9-0 in the Prep League come into the Essex Athletic Center to play Titans of Trinity, 15-8 and 5-4 in the Prep League. And I'm Rick Hamlin, joined here by Ryan Lloyd.
Yeah.
How you doing tonight, Ryan?
Doing pretty good. Excited to be here on a Friday night, watching some good basketball.
Yeah, I'm extremely excited for this game. Maybe as excited as I've been for any game all year, just to see the Stab team, number 2 in the state. Stab has not lost since December 10th. It's now February 17th. 19-game winning streak for Stab. And even the 3 games that they have lost early in the year were to very, very super strong opponents. Word of God out of North Carolina, Bullis out of Maryland, and Bishop O'Connell by 2 points. So they started 3-3, 19 straight wins since then, including decisive win against Trinity about a month ago in Charlottesville. But Titans come in having played well of late. I believe Titans have won 4 of the last 5, and the only loss in that stretch was a 1-point last-second defeat at St. Christopher's last Friday. So I think the Titans come in with a lot of confidence. Got probably the best win of the season on Tuesday against Woodbury Forest by 13 points. So hopefully, I think the feeling amongst Titan Nation tonight is let's hope we can give these guys a game.
Yeah.
You know, Stab's A game is better than anyone in the league. We know that. But maybe they have a B game. And if you have your A game and they have their B game, you got a chance. It's basketball. We see upsets happen all the time. That's one of the reasons that March Madness is one of America's most popular sporting events. You know, I was there last March when 15th seeded St. Peter's got to the Final 8, and I saw that game. So upsets can happen, and the Titans will hope that tonight is their night to pull off an upset here at Travis Court. And first possession will go to Trinity, and it is a turnover as Austin Williford gets the steal. Very talented sophomore. Williford kicks it out to the corner. That 3 is no good by senior Desmond Roberts, who comes in averaging over 10 a game. And in fact, Stab has 5 guys averaging in double figures. And you don't see that very often at this level.
No, you don't. And some of the, the just field goal percentages on these guys are crazy. Their top 3 or 4 players all have around 50% field goal percentage, which for high school is ridiculous. Here's Alex Chaikin for 3.
Yeah, it was a good look for Chaikin as he got switched on to the big man Carter Lang. Here we see Lang establish deep post position, but good defending by Leland Coleman. Really important that Leland stay out of foul trouble. And just as I was saying that, really hope this is not on Leland and it's on Mason Patrick, which is not, obviously you don't want anyone getting in foul trouble, and Mason was in a lot of foul trouble against Woodbury, but Leland's really the only one with the size and athleticism to give Carter Lang trouble. Yeah. So if Leland gets in foul trouble, I don't know what they would do. Carter Lang, who's going to the free throw line, has been starting since he was in the 8th grade at Stab, and he does hit the first free throw. Carter will be playing next year at Vanderbilt, going to the SEC, play for Coach Jerry Stackhouse. Vandy just beat Tennessee last week, top 10 opponent. Watched the end of that game. That was exciting. Buzzer beater win. Sure. And Carter Lang makes the first 2, so the Saints draw first blood. And all 5 of these Stab starters are probable or certainly at least possible future Division I players. So really talented team. You see their defense there, just didn't even allow the Titans inside the 3-point line. Good D there by Mason Patrick, though. Forces a turnover from Des Roberts. And Luke Fisher stumbled. I hope he's okay. does not look great. Layup is made by John St. Germain, and Luke Fisher still down. Looks like he's
holding his left quad.
Yeah.
More on the side.
Dr. Steve Reese out there to help. He definitely took an awkward fall there, and for any number of reasons, we hope that he is okay, first and foremost, because no one loves playing basketball as much as Luke Fisher, and if he were not able to play, if this is a true injury, that would be very disappointing. And then obviously from a team standpoint, with Prep League tournament next week, Luke Fisher is one of your best players, but looks like he's getting up. He's walking pretty well. May have just taken a knee in that upper thigh quad area. It was a very awkward fall, but don't see any issue with like a knee or an ankle, which is good.
Yeah. He
will be subbed out, and Trey Ferguson will come in. So 4-0 Stab.
And speaking of injuries on this Titan team, they're already missing one of their normal starters in Davion Brown. He's currently out with an ankle injury, and that's really just not good news for the Titans because his defensive capabilities are great and would be really helpful facing this tough Stab team.
Yeah, nice take there by Alex Shakin to get the Titans on the board. And, yeah, that's a great point, Ryan. I failed to mention that Davion Brown is out tonight. I don't think it's going to be too long-term of an injury, but I think they felt like with the Prep League tournament next week, that with him not 100%, they would go ahead and let him rest and heal. Long three by Trey Coles is off the mark. I was just talking to Trey this morning about not shooting so many transition threes when he has no rebounders underneath. Clearly, he did not heed my advice. This kid, by the way, Chance Mallory, is a phenomenal shooter. And we see him just come off and hit a three. He's been also starting since the 8th grade for Stab. So, yeah, 3 of these Stab starters played against Trinity in the 2020 Prep League Championship game, and they're still there. Carter Lang, John St. Germain, and Chance Mallory. Another tough bucket by Alex Chaikin. And it's great to see him hitting from the first. He made a shot in the lane. That one more of a mid-range. Austin Williford with the and one at the other end. Williford just a sophomore, and Chaikin is called for the foul. And go ahead, Ryan.
I was going to say, I think the Titans just really need to look to Alex here. In the last game when they went up to Stab and played them, Chaikin, I believe, hit like 4 or 5 threes like in a row. He had a great game there, and they're definitely going to look to him this game to have a phenomenal shooting effort.
Well, he looks confident out there. Williford missed the free throw, and Carter Schuma secures the rebound. Good hustle, as always, by Carter Schuma. Eight on the shot clock. Chaikin, another tough one. He probably got a little lucky on that foul call on Williford. I thought that Williford was kind of straight up and down, but they are going to call Austin Williford for a foul, and Alex Chaikin will go to the line. And if Austin's dad, Jason Williford, is watching, I want to give a shout out to my friend who is the lead assistant coach for UVA and played at UVA. And want to say how much I've enjoyed watching Austin improve from when he was a 7th grader playing JV a few years ago, and now he's a sophomore, averaging double figures, about 12 points a game, and great defender. Also kind of plays above the rim. And that was probably not a great foul call in Austin, but just his first, and not sure what's going on here as violation on White. I think they're going to say Trey Ferguson moved after Chaikin had the ball, which is kind of giving away a point there, which is not something you can really afford to do against a team as talented as this Stab team. Chance Mallory from the corner for another three, and you just see his stroke is so kind of effortless. Just looks like he's shooting a layup when he's shooting those threes. And Mallory leads Stab in scoring at 17.6 points a game. This time Mallory risked the steal, doesn't get it. Chaikin, who scored all 5 points so far, comes up short on that one. Chance Mallory for another three. This one's in and out, and good job by Carter Schuma to box out, and we're going to have a foul on Stab, number 14, Gabrielle D'Alessandro.
Carter's physicality is just one of the things that sets him apart on this team. He's probably, well, Leland's the tallest. I think Carter's probably the biggest in terms of pure muscular strength.
Yeah.
And his aggressiveness is just so helpful. He can just get in there, and whether it's forcing a loose ball like that one or getting possession.
Exactly. I think Carter's a guy who you would say is able to impact the game without scoring, whether it's rebounding. Oh gosh, not a great inbounds pass there by Alex Chaikin, and Coach Blazer's letting him know. It was a tough spot to inbound from in the corner there, but no, just saying how Carter, he sets good screens, gets guys open, and he's a guy who can also just move you away from the basket. So even though he doesn't score a lot of points, he's still a very valuable member of this Titan team. John St. Germain got fouled. A little bit of a late whistle there, but St. Germain turned the corner, and they're going to call that foul on Trey Coles.
The fourth foul on Trinity. Coles is first.
Yeah, so those 4 fouls, I think, are distributed among 4 different Titans, so at least no one with 2 yet. That's good news.
Yep.
But St. Germain hits the first free throw. I was talking with Stab coach Damon Altizer before the game. Incredible coach. He's done a masterful job at Stab, and Damon trains a lot of the UVA players, including a lot of the UVA alums who are in the NBA now. Guys like DeAndre Hunter and Ty Jerome come back in the summer and work with Coach. But we were talking about how just the experience he has on his team. I mean, John St. Germain, as an 8th grader, played against Trinity when he was at the Miller School. He was a starter for Miller back in the 8th grade, and now here he is 5 years later still playing high school basketball. St. Germain is a really composed player, a really good defensive player. He's a guard with good size. Carter Lang, as I mentioned, been starting since the 8th grade. He was always tall but very skinny. Now you can see he's built like a grown man. As D'Alessandro's three is off the mark. Good rebound by Leland Coleman. I mentioned Chance Mallory's been starting since the 8th grade. So that experience at this level is just so valuable. And that's why I think this Stab team, ranked number 2 in the state and in the VISA rankings, has a legit shot at a state championship.
Yeah.
I mean, Paul VI, who's number 1, is an incredible team. But Stab beat them in the summer league up at DeMatha. And these guys are certainly one of the best prep league teams I've ever seen. And they're off to a great start here with a 17-5 lead. And they look just a different – Stab just brings a different level of talent and experience that we really haven't seen in this gym this year. Ryan, you've been at, I think, every home game.
Yeah.
What are some of the differences you see that Stab, some of the problems they present for their opponent compared to other teams we've seen?
I think just their confidence is one thing that I've noticed. You mentioned Chance Mallory and his shooting. It looks effortless for him, and he's so confident. And for Carter Lang, I think that confidence is there too. But I mean, you mentioned we've both been here for almost every home game, and the Titans have only lost 1 at home, and that was probably maybe a fluke or so you could call to Life Christian Academy. But yeah, these players, other than when they went up and faced Stab, haven't really seen this level of confidence and competitiveness that they're seeing right now.
Exactly. Well, good to see Luke Fisher back, and he's moving pretty well. Tough shot by Luke Fisher, goes in and out. And at this point, it's still only Alex Chaikin who's scored for the Titans. Good D by Leland Coleman, and it's going to be a travel on John St. Germain. Yeah, but I mean, having said all that, at the end of the day, you know, when these teams did play in Charlottesville, I mean, I know the final score was pretty lopsided, but I watched that game, and I think it was a 6-point game, you know, late into the second quarter, maybe even early third, before, and you kind of referenced it earlier, before Stab really opened it up. So I think Trinity, if they play their A game, like I said, can be competitive, but need some shots to fall, and that was certainly not a shot that fell, as that layup was way too long, and then Austin Williford just able to blow by and get to the rim.
They're just going to need to pick and choose where they're taking their shots from. Shot selection's been probably one of the criticisms.
Yeah, there's Chaikin again.
But Chaikin.
Well, Chaikin doesn't look scared. I mean, you know, I'm not saying the other guys are, but Chaikin is not seem intimidated, and that's not a foul you want to get called from Leland Coleman. Just like we said, he can't afford to be in foul trouble, and if he is going to get some fouls, you want him to get his money's worth, and that was just, you know, him reaching over the back of Carter Lang. We'll see Andrew Jones in, who has not gotten a ton of minutes recently, but played well at Stab. Oh, that's a nice inbounds play, but immediately Andrew comes in and gets a rebound. That backdoor didn't quite work out. Off the backboard, couldn't complete the dunk, but Williford gets the rebound, misses, gets another rebound. And that's a good block by Alex Chaikin. They're going to call it jump ball. Possession arrow will give it to the Titans. And I know that off the backboard alley-oop that Chance Mallory tried. I know they were able to do that at Woodbury. I watched some highlights from that game, and we know Woodbury's had a great season. Woodbury Forest is 21-5 this year, but Stab went up to Woodbury, and it was 30-3 in the first quarter. So 19-7 isn't great, but I mean, they jumped on them 30-3. So just goes to show you the talent that Stab is operating with. So originally they said the possession would go to the Titans, but after discussion, it is Stab ball, because I think Trinity won the jump, and there have been no alternate possession since then. Chance Mallory misses the left-handed layup, and Andrew Jones is fouled. So Andrew Jones has come in and immediately grabbed a couple of defensive rebounds, and good to see him contributing. Luke Fisher stepped out of bounds, and it seems to me Trinity offensively probably has about as many turnovers as shot attempts, and you have no chance in a game. You're playing a team that's won 19 in a row if you keep turning the ball over. St. Germain's going to go to the line again. And that foul is going to be on Mason Patrick, his second.
The Titans have two players with two fouls about 7 minutes into the game, and two both important players in Leland and Mason.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought Leland just had one, but he has two.
Yeah. At least I think so. Maybe not. But
well, it is 17 fouls now, and good effort play. Going to be Titan ball with 36 seconds to go. Fisher able to
Good job
shake
by
free
Lou.
of the defender and knocks it down. As finally a Titan other than Alex Chaikin gets into the scorebook. Shot clock off now. Stab up 20-9 as there are 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. Roberts' pull-up is off the mark and into the first quarter, so it's 20-9 Stab. I thought, it's going to sound weird, Ryan, but I actually thought Trinity's defense was pretty good. I mean, I say it sounds weird because 20 points is a lot, but Stab has so many weapons. But thought Titans defended fairly well, but the biggest problem to me was just offensively too many turnovers.
I agree. I feel like if the Titans could have gotten some of those shots to fall, it could be, 5-6 point game right now.
Yeah.
If saw Trey miss a 3, saw Alex miss a 3, and then a few layups that really shouldn't have been missed. But if you get those to fall, you got a good game here. So looking at the Titans to just knock some shots down and keep playing some decent defense, and they'll be in this game.
Yeah, so just some first quarter stats. Alex Chaikin leads the way with 7 for the Titans, and then for Stab, John St. Germain with 5, and Chance Mallory with 6. Carter Lang has 5 as well. So pretty balanced effort from Stab as we've seen from them all year. In a game like this, Ryan, when you know you're the underdog, you're playing a team on a 19-game winning streak. You're playing the team that's first place in your conference. You have to come into the game and walk onto the court with the belief that you can win. And the way you do that through your body language, through how you talk to your teammates. And this is where I think the leaders on this team need to step up right now, because right now it just looks like Stab is very much comfortable, and you got to make them uncomfortable. And ways to do that is through talking defensively and being aggressive offensively. And plays like that is exactly what I'm talking about, where Chaikin gets it in the lane, draws the defense, lays it off to Leland Coleman. That's a good aggressive play, and that's a great way to start the second quarter. Chance Mallory coming off that screen. It's beautiful to watch him shoot the ball. Like I think you said, it just looks so effortless. Good defense there by St. Germain. Mason Patrick reverse layup is blocked by Williford. Shot clock at 4. Leland Coleman long 2. Gets the roll.
Yep.
So 2 possessions, 2 buckets for Leland Coleman. And the Titans still within 10. Deep 3 by John St. Germain, and that's good. It is frustrating when, Titans have had the ball twice this quarter, scored both times, and yet they're down 2 more points than they were to start the quarter.
Yeah.
As Stabs hit 2 threes. Now Coleman's 3 is no good. And Des Roberts hits the pull-up. And quickly Stabs' lead is up to 15. Excited that at halftime we're going to have Trinity Episcopal football coach Sam Mickens for an interview. And the Trinity senior football players got to go to the state capitol today to be honored for their state championship. So excited to talk to Coach Mickens at halftime. So please stick around for that. Even Stab fans, you're going to want to hear Coach Mickens. He's a really dynamic guy to talk to, and I know he's going to have some fresh insights about what that experience was like, and to go to the floor of the state capitol and be honored. Another thing I want to talk about is the Titans call timeout is next week's Prep League tournament. Yeah. So even though all the 6 teams in the league are playing their final regular season game tonight, Collegiate and St. Christopher's are playing tonight. Fork Union and Woodbury are playing tonight, and obviously this game, Stab and Trinity. I'm almost positive that the Prep League tournament bracket is set. I don't think any result tonight is going to change what the bracket looks like. So Stab is going to be the 1 seed, Woodbury 2, Trinity 3, St. Christopher's 4, Collegiate 5, and Fuma 6. So that means that the Titans are going to the top two get a bye. So Stab and Woodbury will move on to the semifinals, but the Titans will host Fuma on Tuesday night, which we'll be broadcasting that game. Probably will be our last broadcast of the year, I would think. And then the winner of that game would play Woodbury in the semis. So if Trinity, nice move by Luke Fisher, great move. If Trinity were to see Stab again, it would not be until the Prep League Championship. And we're going to have a carry violation against St. Germain. He looks quite confused. Officials called that one a little tight. But I'll tell you, Ryan, all the calls that went against us over the years in Charlottesville, I don't mind a little home cooking down here in Richmond as Carter Lang rebounds the miss, and now Chance Mallory. This three is off. Ooh. Rebound. Great job by Williford. And then the nice pass from Elijah Wells, and finally the finish by St. Germain. Great hustle there by Stab, though. And that's the mark of a great team. Even with a 13-point lead, they're not taking a play off. They show tremendous hustle. There's great hustle by Trey Coles, and he didn't get the layup, but he does draw the foul. That was excellent effort by Trey to get to the line. Second foul on St. Germain. And Trey Coles hits the first. Colin Etzel into the game.
Yeah.
A little size. And Trey Coles hits them both. Also, Stab has Connor Lyons, a 6'6" freshman, in for the first time. Nice move by Roberts for the and one. Gonna be Etzel's. I don't know, they said number 4, but Trinity doesn't have a number 4 in the game. 4D, yeah. Colin Etzel. Yeah. Yeah, sadly, our number 4 is on the bench in street clothes tonight, Devion Brown. Trey Coles with another rebound. Good move. No foul call. This time, great effort again by Trey Coles to save it. Trey Ferguson kind of changed it midair there. I wish he would have just gone up with it, but was worried it was going to get blocked. There we see Chance Mallory put it on the floor. We've seen him hit several threes. 2-on-1 fast break. Mason, scoop layup, no. Gets his own rebound. He's got Chaikin open, but he'll take the layup.
He'll make it.
I do think the Titans have fought harder in the second quarter. Not that they didn't play hard in the first quarter. I just thought they looked shell-shocked. But I think Trinity's playing hard, but then at the same time, you leave a good shooter wide open. Mm-hmm. Clearly a miscommunication there, and Elijah Wells hits the three.
Yeah. I think we mentioned, Chaikin is one of those players who just isn't afraid. And neither is Trey Ferguson, and he'll go all the way.
Well, see, that time he didn't change his layup, and he made it.
Yeah.
So,
but I was going to say, Mason Patrick, I think, is another player who just shows absolutely no fear on the court. He'll go for any shot that is required of him, and he'll give a good effort no matter what.
Good D there by Ferguson. I mean, it's a tough finish by Roberts, but Trey Ferguson was giving up, nearly probably 10 inches to Roberts, but was able to force him into a fadeaway. Trey Coles, long two, no good. That three is off the mark by the freshman Lions, and nice rebound by Edsel. We're going to have a foul on Stab, the 6th team foul, so that will not be a shooting foul, but any fouls. The rest of this half will be free throws. Fisher and Coleman back in. That foul was on Connor Lyons, his first. Trey Ferguson all the way, and this time they're going to get a held ball. Possession to Stab. But I still like the aggressiveness. I mean, Trey's been able to get into the lane pretty effectively. We see him take it hard again. I thought maybe that could have been a foul call, but I still just like it when they attack. I think in the first quarter we just didn't see the Titans attack. You got to try and get downhill, get in the paint, put pressure on the Stab defense. As Chaikin with a rebound. Good skip pass by Luke Fisher. Trey Cole's three, no. Good rebound by Coleman. Gonna get another held ball here as Leland had his shot blocked and then came down with it. So this time it will stay Titan ball. Trey Cole's got fouled there. It's going to be 1-1 as Connor Lyons bumped him. We had or at least, I don't know, maybe I was blocking you, Ryan, but I had a good view of that one, and it's definitely a foul.
Yeah.
Trey Cole's just hit 2 free throws, so hopefully he can repeat the feat on this 1-1.
I think Stab's definitely switched up their defense a bit this quarter. They've been guarding Chaikin a little bit closer, and they've been willing to give Trey Ferguson and Trey Coles a little bit more space.
Yeah, Trey Coles did not get that one as the front end of the 1-1 rolls out. Chance Mallory, this three is no good. And Williford tried to save it but wasn't able to. Yeah, I know from talking to Coach Altizer before the game, he mentioned Chaikin's shooting as a priority, as that shot was blocked by Carter Lang back off of Leland Coleman. So it will be, well, originally it's called stab ball, but after discussion, they are going to give it to the Titans. As the trailing official came in and changed the call.
Carter Schuma back in.
I think Coach Blazer made that sub thinking they were going to be on defense, but nice pass by Ferguson and a great little pull-up by Luke Fisher. Cuts the lead to 14. Chance Mallory. He's shown off his three-point ability, but there he's able to show off his ability to get into the lane. And now a turnover for the Titans. And I mentioned I got a chance to catch up with Coach Damon Altizer before the game. He's a good friend, someone I coached against for many years. And for any Stab fans watching, you guys have an elite coach. I love Damon. He does it all great. Player development, team development, character development. He's just an absolute perfect demeanor for high school basketball coach. And also obviously having tremendous success with it's been the best season in Stab's history. They have a chance if they win this game tonight to go through the Prep League regular season undefeated, which does not happen very often, I can assure you. And they're a true contender for a state title. St. Germain gets the first one to go. That's the third foul on Mason Patrick, but he's gonna stay in even with the 3 fouls. And another reminder to please stick around at halftime, as head football coach Sam Mickens will be talking to us about this morning's trip to the state capitol for Titan football. So we're under a minute to go here in the first half. And they're going to get an illegal screen on Mason Patrick. That's going to be his 4th foul here in the first half after he fouled out on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And my guy Mason, refs just really not giving him any benefit of the doubt this week.
Yeah. Fouled out in the last game. Now he's at 4 fouls, not even halfway into the game.
Carter Lang travels. But even though he got called for a travel there, you see why Carter Lang is a top 100 player in the senior class in the nation, because with his great size, but he also shows you that skill. Pump fake, puts it on the deck. I actually didn't think it was a travel, but regardless, the fact that, at that size he feels confident to do that just says a lot. And he's a very high IQ player and person, no doubt, going to a great school like Vanderbilt. Luke Fisher, good take, went to the left. I think Luke was hoping to get a whistle, didn't. And a long pass from Austin Williford to Chance Mallory. And that's the largest lead of the game for Stab at 19. We're down the last 10 seconds. Ferguson finds Fisher. I thought he got bumped, no call. 2, 1, and it is halftime. So halftime score, St. Anne's Belfield 42, Trinity Episcopal 23. And going to get Coach Mickens in here right away. Have some halftime stats for you, but we'll give you those in a minute. But Coach Mickens, thank you so much for being here. Can you hear me?
I can't, but that's okay.
You might need to take one off, or take this one off. For some reason, usually we have volume in our headphones, but it's not working tonight. So,
all right.
So thrilled to be joined here by my friend and the leader of Titan football, 11-0, back-to-back state champion, Coach Sam Mickens. And first and foremost, I just want to ask you about today. You had an incredibly cool opportunity, and just tell the viewers what you guys got to do this morning.
Yeah, thanks, Coach. We were able to go down to, we were invited by the General Assembly, Delegate Bourne, to come down, and they did a resolution for us, and just to commend us on our terrific season this year. And the boys were, really excited. Actually, it brought me back to when the basketball team went down. We had a nice tour of the Capitol building, which I think was really the highlight of it all. I really didn't know how much history was. Obviously, I know a lot of history in Virginia, but just within the Capitol and all the different pieces to it. So it was a great time.
Yeah, exactly. We got a chance to do that about 5-6 years ago, and it was incredibly memorable. And I talked to some of the players after y'all got back, and they seemed to truly enjoy the educational piece of it just as much as the kind of fame and glamour piece of being honored, which is also pretty cool.
Yeah, they do a tremendous job there, and I think that's again a testament to all the tour guides there. And then we had a young Paige, who was also very impressive, one of the students who was there, I guess, for the 5 weeks, and I got a chance to speak to our kids as well, and they were impressed by that as well.
That's cool. I also want to shout out Trinity alum Joanna Bolstead, who is the head of the Page program down at the General Assembly.
That's right.
So it was your seniors that got to go. You can't take a whole football team. That's too many guys, too many big guys taking up too much space in a 250-year-old building. But talk about your senior class, what they did for this program, and we were at signing day a couple weeks ago and saw 9 guys going on to play college football, with potentially 1 or 2 others maybe still have that opportunity. Just speak on your senior class of 2023.
Yeah, I call them the foundation. They, came in. They were 3-6, their first year, and each year got a little bit better. But the thing I most respect about them was just their stick-to-itness. They're very good students. They're students of the game. They do a really good job of, just kind of living the standard, on and off the field. And when it came to getting on the field and producing, they really wanted to represent Trinity. that was the thing that I love the most about them. And you know this. I mean, I learned so much of that from you and when you were coaching, and kind of just that feeling of loving Trinity and going out and wanting to play for Trinity. And that's a big deal, especially in today's day and age, that these kids, they just really wanted to honor their community. They wanted everything to be done here at Trinity. And they knew the history. You know, they knew from whence we came, and they wanted to just leave an indelible mark on the program, and they have.
So my colleague, Ryan Lloyd, has said he wants to ask, I know this is something you've talked about before, but just this is more of a big picture question, but ask Coach Miggins how he built the team from the ground up. Just, I guess, like you talk about the foundation, but you know, you've been here longer than just these seniors. We could probably sit down and have a whole think piece about what it takes to build a football program in the mold that you have, but just, I guess, as succinctly as possible, how talk about the journey that you have been on to get this program to the places where you've taken them.
So the first thing is to get good people. I think that was the number one piece. And it didn't matter if they were 250 pounds, 175 pounds. You want good people, and then you want people that are there for you or for the school, for the program. It has to be bigger than them. And I think that's the piece that, kind of goes unnoticed in great programs. It doesn't matter how great the individual player is. If they're doing it for themselves, you're not going to have team success. And that goes all the way back to, your Jack Frudenthals. It goes back to, your Blake Bowens and those guys, Cody Gray. They were, kind of that first wave of kids to come through and really do it. Dayton Strader, Bill Patton, gosh, I can keep naming for days here. But those guys, there were kids at different points during this journey that knew they probably weren't going to win a title, but they were still dedicated to the growth of the program. And again, that says a lot. That says a lot more than those kids that know they're going to win a title or that have a chance to compete for a title. So to not to continue the name drop, but guys like Zach Shoemate, who's down at William & Mary right now, like he knew his senior year was going to be very difficult for us to compete, but he also knew that the foundation he was building was going to turn into what is now today. So that's really the biggest deal. And I got to give a shout out here now that I'm on the air. We had an offer yesterday from a college. One of our students, Zaire Rayner, got an offer to play football at Stanford. And I kind of had a joke, I know, with you, Coach Hamlin, and with my family. I said, if I ever get a Stanford offer, I'm going to resign right then and retire.
Well, let's hope you're not doing that.
No, I don't think that's going to happen, but I didn't think the Stanford offer would ever happen. So, but again, that just shows the level of academic commitment that these kids have, as well as the athletic commitment.
For sure, and I mean, it couldn't happen to a better kid than Zaire, who I taught, and I love him so much. And of course, I hope he goes to UVA, but also a great school. But but Stanford's okay. No, but I think people who haven't led a program the way that we have maybe don't understand how much it means to us to see those young student athletes get rewarded and with those type of opportunities. Also wanted to ask you about, you talk about the most important thing is getting good people. We don't have a ton of time left, but just speak on your coaching staff. Your coaching staff is, it's about good people.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. So obviously, I think most people know Coach Wally Rayner, former NFL player and just the most humble coach. Then you got Malcolm Bell, the offensive guru, but guys like James Grant, Rosen, Chris Berkeley, Paul Tompkins. I know I'm going to leave someone out.
Guys, talk about Nuck.
Joey Knuckles, I can't leave my man Nucks out. And then again, like our support staff, like, Adam Banworth and Mark Hall. Like it really just all comes together. But that coaching staff right there, Cedric McCall is another. Timone Brown, my God.
I mean, they're elite.
Thank you, Coach.
They're elite.
They are elite. I mean, it is just unbelievable the level of coaches, the coaching that happens out there. I mean, we show up to games. Our kids know the plays before other teams run them. They're so confident in what they're doing. Again, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. When you and Coach Hauser were doing it and you guys were doing it at such a high level, it just looks so fluid, and people think it comes easy. Yeah. But how many games how many nights, right, where I would ask you, hey, man, what are you doing? I got to go get eyes on the team, or I got to go see this team. We might play. I don't know.
Right.
Right? And you would tell me the same thing in those early days. And I think that's the piece that a lot of people just take for granted. They don't understand how much individual legwork goes into, the greatness that you see on a Saturday or on any individual night.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, Coach Mickens. And I know you're still decompressing from the dream season that you had, but for me and probably the rest of Titan Nation, I'm counting the days till next fall.
Yeah, it's time
Cannot
to go.
wait.
Repeat.
Despite the incredible senior class that'll never be forgotten, there's also a bunch of young bucks that are coming back. I'm sure some new Titans will emerge as well, and just can't wait to be back in Aycock Stadium come fall. But thanks a lot for joining us. What a day you've had from the state capitol back to the Estes Athletic Center, and congratulations on everything. But also Metro Coach of the Year, State Coach of the Year, should be National Coach of the Year. I'm going to write you a recommendation as soon as I get home tonight. But thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it, Coach. All right, y'all take care.
Thanks so much. And want to also, use that interview with Coach Mickens to also segue into what they've built at Stab basketball, because a lot of what Coach Mickens was talking about is a similar situation to having guys that are experienced, who are academically high caliber, like Carter Lang, for example, the senior, fifth-year player going to Vanderbilt, and just building a program. And I think that Coach Blazer is doing the same thing on the Titan sideline. Earlier in that process, only his second year, but a team that only won 5 games last year, already with 15 wins this year. A team that got last place in the Prep League last year at third this year. A team that didn't make the state tournament last year with a good chance to make it this year. So it's still early days, but love the progress we're seeing in the Trinity program. And Stab is now the standard bearer in the Prep League. And you got to give, again, Coach Damon Altizer and his incredible staff credit. And in a lot of ways, Trinity football, where that's at right now, reminds me of Stab basketball.
Yeah.
The only good news for Trinity football is we didn't have to deal with a Paul VI type of number one in the nation team in the way of a state championship that Stab is potentially going to have to see. But Stab, like I said earlier in the broadcast, did beat Paul VI in Summer League. So that's a game we may get a chance to see again in Virginia State in a couple weeks. All right, second half underway. Stab did score with their first possession, extending the lead to 21, which is the largest it's been. What a pass by St. Germain to Carter Lang. And, you see the Stab guys on the bench still locked in, supporting their team. You probably hear the defense cheer. But that's what you do, even up 23, about to be 25. No! Austin Williford missed the dunk, but Chance Mallory stuck with it, got the steal, and they end up getting an and one. And that is what championship teams do. Everybody in this gym assumed that Williford was going to make it. But the one kid who didn't, Chance Mallory, just in case, followed it up, gets the steal, gets the assist, and now it's a chance for a three-point play. And in case you haven't been able to tell from the first half, I just love Chance Mallory's game. He's a great shooter, but he defends, he rebounds, he passes. Such a complete player. And really, that's the kind of player, it takes to win a state championship. Titans need a bucket here, and they're not going to get one. It was a good-looking shot by Leland Coleman, but just not quite good enough. Oh, my gosh, what a pass by Chance Mallory, and he is really just in his bag right now, feeling very comfortable out there. Good move by Fisher, but that length of Carter Lang changed the shot. Do you have a technical foul call on John St. Germain? I don't know what he said, but maybe he was jawing with the bench a little bit of the Trinity bench.
I think,
I'm not sure.
Judging by the reaction of the Trinity bench, I think that would probably be the appropriate.
Well, I
decision,
saw him in the
but-
first half talking to the Trinity bench. And I think it was probably, mostly good-natured trash talk that happens in a basketball game, but he may have taken it too far, or may have said one of those magic words that gets you attacked. Chaikin hits the free throw, and that ends an 8-0 Stab run to start the second half. But, that may not change the outcome of this game, but they got to eliminate that if they want to win a state title. You can't be
giving up points
like that. And it's just unnecessary.
Yeah, those technical fouls can really just be so detrimental to what you want to accomplish, especially, I know as a coach, you have the opportunity to get 5 points just right out of the gate from mostly just silly and immature actions.
Well, they also had a fast break going. So you take the ball out of your team's hand, which could have been 2 or even 3. You eliminate that opportunity. Then the Titans get 2, and then they don't make the 3. But if Chaikin had made that 3, that could have been a 7 or 8 point swing.
Yeah.
Good pass there by Mallory, and St. Germain misses. Chaikin. I'm not sure what this call was. All right, Carter Lang going to get called for, although Trey Ferguson was wide open on the court, so that actually might have saved 2 points. Always good to have some alums back in the house. See some guys come say hi, but Trey Ferguson bringing it up. Leland went down. That didn't look great, but all right, he's going to get back up. That scared me a little bit. Yeah. Again, with the tournament next week and these guys hoping to make a state tournament, want everybody to come out healthy. Austin Williford hits a 3, and Ryan Williford is the guy. We've seen him block shots, score around the basket. He's got a couple steals, almost got a steal there, but he's going to get a foul. Then he hits a 3. He's just a sophomore. He can kind of do it all.
Yeah. Those players, I'm sure that those are probably the best kinds to coach that can just do it all, whatever you need of them. They're pretty rare, and I think he's definitely one.
Well, right, and again, he's a coach's son. Nice catch there by Trey Ferguson, who certainly knows how to catch a ball going to play wide receiver at the Naval Academy.
Yeah.
So Williford is coach's son. Again, I mentioned this in the first half, but his dad, UVA assistant coach Jason Williford, I think UVA associate head coach. So he's like the top assistant for Tony Bennett. Coach Williford has had plenty of opportunities to be a head coach at the D1 level as Ferguson misses the free throw. And his dad, Jason Williford, was the Metro Player of the Year in Richmond growing up, played at John Marshall. So, beautiful give and go there with Chance Mallory. But Williford, it's just it's in his blood, and you can see that. And the long 3 comes out to St. Germain. Nice pass there over to Carter Lang, and he hits. And the lead is up to 32.
That's that chemistry that you see. These guys who have been starting on varsity since they were in the 8th grade can just hit those crazy passes. Stab's going to get called for
timeout. No, it's timeout Titans.
Sorry. Got blocked by the view.
Yeah, Stab just looks so comfortable on the court. And their core of players have been playing together for several years, as we mentioned a couple of times. The question just becomes, are they good enough to win a state title? And I've been at a lot of Vista State Championship games for a long, long time, and they have
one.
One as a player, one as a coach. Thanks for mentioning that, Ryan. Appreciate that. I'll give you a couple bucks after the game, but no, I know what state championship teams look like, and they look like this. They've got size, they've got ball handling, they've got shooting, they defend, they play as a team. Now, it doesn't guarantee it. And the thing I would say is what you can't control for is how good the competition is. So you could take this exact Stab team and put it in certain years, and I would make them the favorite. But it just happens to be a year where Paul VI is the #1 team in the country. And so that makes me a little nervous for Stab. Not nervous for, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I would make them the favorite in a lot of years, just with their chemistry and versatility. But PVI is going to be a tough team to beat. But we also know it's possible. We did it. We beat PVI when they were 13th in the nation in 2017. Episcopal beat them when they were top 20 in the nation in 2016. So, the state title in Virginia tends to go through Paul VI for about the last decade. But, oh, wow, that was –
not going to be Stab ball, but that would have been –
that was a little much of a risk for Chance Mallory there. Good effort by Carter Langley. You still see him hustling. I mean, at 32-point advantage, still playing hard.
What do you think separates Paul VI from that? It's allowed them to get that #1 in the country ranking.
I mean, they're just elite talent. Stab also has elite talent, but Paul VI has a Duke commit. They've got, I believe, a Maryland commit, and then some younger guys who haven't committed yet, but they're, 4- and 5-star talent. But, I mean, Stab has, Carter Lang going to play in the SEC. Mm-hmm. Williford and Mallory, to me, have the look of high major players. St. Germain certainly going to have a chance to play at the college level. Des Roberts, great student. Coach Altizer is telling me he has some really high academic schools looking at him. So probably if you just went by recruiting rankings, Paul VI probably has a slight edge in terms of 4- and 5-stars. But at the same time, when games aren't won based on how many stars are next to your name, and I just love how Stab plays together. They just really seem to have fantastic chemistry. That's a good take by Cameron Lindo into the game for the first time, as he looked aggressive and took it right to the heart of the lane. Oh, and by the way, I should mention, because I don't want to make it sound like it's just Paul VI and Stab. I mean, the #3 team in the state, Catholic High School, is 29-2, and they've won 27 straight. Trinity played them earlier this year and lost by a pretty wide margin. You got Bishop O'Connell as #4, who actually beat Stab back in December.
Yeah.
You got Blue Ridge at #5, who, certainly Stab fans watching will know how good Blue Ridge is in the Charlottesville area. This is the first year Blue Ridge has moved up from D2 to D1. Well, Blue Ridge has won the last 4 Division II championships. St. Stephen St. Agnes is 6th. I mean, so this Vista State tournament in a couple weeks is going to be super exciting, and just really hope the Titans get to participate in it. I mean, clearly, Trinity's wouldn't be considered one of the favorites yet, but just making it and getting to play against one of those high-level teams is how you build that program, like what Coach Mickens talked about at halftime. And these guys for Stab, back in 2020, we beat them in the Prep League Championship. They were the 5 or 6 seed in the state tournament. I mean, they had to go through their own process to get to where they are today. So it doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
See Andrew Jones, who gave good minutes in the first half, as well as A.K. Key in. Stab also, it's Trey Ferguson hits a 3. Stab's taking some of their starters out, at least for the time being. Elijah Wells back in. Gabe D'Alessandro back in. And number 10, Cade Ellis, a freshman. And, that's another thing, is as good as these guys are, and 3 of the starters are seniors, Lang, St. Germain, and Roberts, but the other 2 starters are sophomores. We see freshman Cade Ellis getting minutes. In the first half, we saw freshman Connor Lyons getting minutes. D'Alessandro is a sophomore. Elijah Wells, actually, he is a senior. But, I mean, there's still a lot of talent coming back for these guys. So it's not like one of those situations where you can say, like, well, okay, they're beating us by 29 points, but next year they're going to fall off a cliff. Like, they're still going to be really good. But I think we're going to be really good, you know. I mean, we've got a great senior class who we honored on Tuesday against Woodbury, but there's also Alex Shakin, Mason Patrick, and Devion Brown, you know, 3 of our starters who are not seniors, and Trey Coles, who has been starting recently as well. So I think the Titans have a lot to be excited about. Talib Montgomery, who's been a really good player this year. Got a foul here on Andrew Jones, one of those younger players, a sophomore.
Yeah.
And it's his 4th foul. So he's going to come out, and Colin Etzel comes back into the game. 2:31 to go, 59-29. Lang, the lefty hook, in and out, and follow is missed, but Lang gets it back. It's going to be called for a travel. He's saying he got pushed, but they are going to call him for a travel there. And Lang's going to take a break.
Yeah.
D'Alessandro steals. Williford all the way, missed the layup. Etzel's rebound out to Lindo. And he pushes. Goes with a Euro. Couldn't get it to go. Out of bounds. 2-stab.
Yeah.
It's a good aggressive move by Cam Lindo.
Yeah. You know, these games, you look back at them and you're like, gosh, we're down by 30. It's not probably how they wanted this game to go. But getting, you know, some players the opportunity to play against guys is good. That's what makes you better in the long run. You know, people always talk about, you know, playing against players of a higher that could be of a higher caliber than you. It just makes you think different. You see the game from a different perspective, and you see that just that passing.
Yeah, so the Titans went 2-3 zone there, and yeah, you see, I mean, Stab only has 2 starters in the game, and yet they still are able to quickly move it and get a layup and draw a foul. But you're exactly right, Ryan. That's such a great point. You get better by playing against better players in any sport. And that's one thing that, like, thinking back when I was a kid going to basketball camps, the most I ever improved was going to a basketball camp, Wake Forest basketball camp, where I was the smallest, youngest, worst player in the camp. And it was such a formative experience because you see players that are better than you, and it makes you inspired to get better. So, and yeah, I mean, if the Titans take their lumps tonight, but they see what a championship caliber team looks like, it can only serve them well the rest of this season and going forward. Shakin's 3 is off. Good block there by Leland Coleman. Fisher kicks it out to Chaikin. His 3 is short. Nice pass, and Chance Mallory finishes.
Great pass by Alex to Leland in traffic.
And Leland's going to draw a foul. For less than a minute to go in the third. That was a nice entry pass by Leland Coleman to Leland Coleman by Alex Shakin for sure. So Leland will shoot 2.
Yeah, and we were just talking about playing against better players, and I think that's one of the great things about the prep league and all these teams in Richmond, and not just in basketball, but I think in almost every sport that at least we offer. Most of the teams in Richmond at least are competitive at that. So you're routinely playing teams that are very good at
Yeah.
every sport, and that's what forms these great rivalries that Richmond has between all these private schools.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
We're really fortunate to be a part of
right.
that.
You look at the fall sports on the boys' side and Vista. The 3 of the final 4 teams in soccer were prep league teams from Richmond. 2 of the final 4 in football were prep league, St. Christopher's and Trinity, and then when a third Richmond team, Benedictine, who of course is not in the prep league but plays against all the prep league teams. Cross country, track,
Field hockey.
wrestling. You're just thinking of boys sports right now.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, then you start talking about girls sports, field hockey. 3 of the final 4 were Richmond teams, Collegiate, Trinity, and St. Catherine's. In girls soccer, which as you know, I coach an LIS team. At least one LIS team has been in every state championship game since 2005, actually until last year. In 2022 was the first year ever there wasn't at least one LIS team in the state championship game, and frequently it's been 2. So lacrosse, Stab is a traditional powerhouse, both boys and girls. Baseball, you see St. Christopher's, Collegiate, Trinity have had teams play for state championships. Across the board. In fact, one of the things that they said at the state capitol today, apparently, when our football team was getting honored, is Delegate Bourne, who offered the resolution honoring Trinity football, said something about like 804 runs high school sports in the state, and some people from other areas apparently booed him. But as Luke Fisher ends the quarter with a great drive by Luke Fisher. But that's a great point, Ryan, and we're really fortunate to be here in the central region of the state and see great sports really across the board. And girls basketball, Stab, is also incredible. I think they're number 2 in the state for girls basketball. They got Mo Johnson, who's going to UVA to play next year, a McDonald's All-American. Looking at the stat sheet, let's see. Looks like the leading scorer for Stab is Des Roberts, but it's very balanced. Roberts has 16, Mallory with 13, Lang with 13, St. Germain with 11. So, and then Williford with 11. So yeah, you see. Williford only 7, but they got 4 guys in double figures already with a quarter to go. Impressive.
Yeah.
Leading scorer for the Titans is Chaikin. It will be, I believe, Trinity ball to open the 4th quarter. And a reminder, Titans will host a Prep League quarterfinal game on Tuesday. Should be against Fork Union. As far as I know, it's a 6 o'clock start. I haven't been told that, to be fair, but I think that's typically when most of our home games have been.
Yeah, I assume so. Most of the time, they are 6 o'clock games. I think some of the ones that are 7 o'clock games are the schools that are in Richmond.
Yeah.
And you don't have to drive at multiple hours back home.
Yeah,
that some of the teams have to.
I'm thinking it'll be 6. Leland thought he got fouled there, no call, but he continues to battle, dives on the floor for loose ball. They're going to get him for a travel, which is it's a bummer to see because Leland, you love a kid. I mean, down 31 points, still playing his tail off, diving on the floor for the loose ball. But officials said he, I guess, traveled with it. Now they're going to get a off-ball foul on Carter Schuma called for that foul. It is going to be a 1-and-1. So Desmond Roberts, who's the leading scorer of tonight for Stab, is going to have a chance to add to that total at the free throw line with a 1-and-1. And he knocks down the first. A little discussion of the scorers table. All right, Ryan has written down a question for me. I've been kind of avoiding it because it could cause some controversy, but it's a 30-point game. We'll have some fun with it. You know.
Right.
So Ryan asked do I think the best teams we've had at Trinity, in basketball could have what they're doing is discussing whether to do a running clock or not with a 30-point margin. Mm-hmm. And looks like for now they're not going to go with a running clock.
I'd be surprised if Blazer gives into that.
I wouldn't want to do a running clock. You want to maximize your guys' time for sure. Would the best teams Trinity ever had? How would they do against this Stab team? Good take by Chaikin, or potentially Paul the Sixth as well.
What was the top nation ranking you guys ever got?
11th in 2017. We finished the year 11th in the nation. So I'm looking across at the banners. Trinity Episcopal with I think 16 Prep League championships, the most of anyone. I'm happy to report historically. And it looks like we got another technical. I'm very confused. Here I am thinking about history, but what I'm not sure what that's about. I apologize. I was thinking about Ryan's question, and I don't know why a technical foul was called.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, too. It almost looks like the players are confused as well.
Yeah. Looks like they're trying to calm down Lions, but I don't know. He's telling his coach he's good. And maybe it's maybe a double technical. So each team assessed one because now Chance Mallory will shoot two. Chaikin did hit both free throws, by the way. So thinking about this Stab team, looking at their starting five of Mallory, St. Germain, Williford, Roberts, and Lang, and our best team in 2017 with Tink Boyd, Malik Merritt, Zach Jacobs, Jason Wade, Armando Baycott, and then also Aaron Duhart, who came back late in that year and took us to the next level. It's really close. I mean, both teams have what you'd want in a high school basketball team. Both teams had size. Both teams defend well. Both play as a team. Good senior leadership. Good ball handling. I mean, really no weaknesses as Cam Lindo's got a 3-on-1 break here. His shot is blocked by Roberts, but they're going to count the basket with a goaltend. And so that'll cut it back to 30. And it is a running clock, actually. And Cullen Malbone got his hands on the ball there, which is never good. But clock is still running as a couple subs come in. So, no, I'm not going to say who would win, but I do think, Mondo presents a challenge for Stab, as good as Carter Lang is. But at the end of the day, there's a nice three-pointer is hit there by Finnegan Black, number 23. And I told, sorry, Trey Coles took a hard fall there. Apologize for my language. I think he just slipped, and that three is no good. Schuma with a rebound. No, I told Damon Altizer, he and I were texting yesterday, and I told him any team with Jason Wade I'm betting on. So as long as we have Jason Wade, I like our chances. But it would be an incredible hypothetical matchup, that's for sure. I will say that we came in as the 2 seed to the state tournament that year, which is probably where Stab is going to come in. And Paula 6 was the 1 seed, and we did beat them. So perhaps history in terms of a prep league team coming in as undefeated in the league, number 2 in the state, and having to go through Paul VI perhaps will repeat itself. And I will admit my bias is pro prep league. So if Trinity can't win a state championship, and of course you'd love for it to think we could, but that may be a little too much to ask this year. But if we can't win it, I hope another prep league team does. So I'll be rooting for Stab. And again, no secret, Coach Damon Altizer is a friend and a guy I have a ton of respect for. So I'd love to see him get one. But the thing that is even the biggest thing to me, and I saw this in warm-ups, and this is something that may be hard to understand if you haven't. Good rebound by AK. The layup is in and out, but AK's still battling. But no, Ryan, the thing that our best teams had, not just 2017, but a lot of the prep league winning teams and Final Four state teams that we had, that I see from this Stab team, you can see it in warm-ups, is there's a body language when they walk on the court and just an expectation of, and it's not arrogance, it's not necessarily cockiness, it's just a confidence that is born out of, great pass by Shuma, born out of the work you put in. And as soon as I saw Stab come out for warm-ups, there's just this like joy of being on the court when you know you put the work in, and now is the fun.
Yeah.
Practice isn't always fun.
That's what
the hours they put in the gym all off season long are not always fun. But Friday night with people in the stands, that's the fun. And there's not, at that time, there's no longer fear of failure. It's just like I get to show off what I'm about. Mm-hmm. And I see that with this team. And I think Chance Mallory is such a great example. Like the way he conducts himself on the court, he just looks so comfortable. Just like a fish in water, a pig in a mud trough. He just looks like this is where he belongs, And I think that feeds to the rest of the team. Mm-hmm. And I think that you saw, I think the best teams have that at any level. It's like how Steph Curry is. Mm-hmm. Or I'm sure a lot of Stab fans who may be watching this broadcast are probably UVA fans as well, being in Charlottesville. The UVA 2019 team with Kyle Guy and Ty Jerome and DeAndre Hunter and Kihei Clark, who's still wearing the orange and blue. But, like, that team had it. You just sometimes you can look at a team and see it's special, and I do see that from this Stab team.
Yeah.
And I feel very grateful that I was able to be part of some pretty special teams as well. Mm-hmm. And it's cool. And I think that Coach Blazer has our program trending in that direction. It's just going to take a little more time.
Yeah.
Good rebound by Cam Lindo.
It's part of that team building aspect that Coach Mickens touched on earlier. It's so important to have a great staff and a good environment that players want to be a part of.
Yeah, absolutely. And assistant coach Marcus Dixon for Stab has been on the staff for many years, even before Coach Altizer was the head coach. Marcus was an assistant when Brian Kent, who was the predecessor, who also did a great job, and Damon was assistant for Coach Kent. So great reverse layup by Trey Ferguson. But this Stab program has been really solid for well over a decade. But this year is like just the dream season that you hope for.
Yeah.
Rodney gets fouled, so we're going to see fan favorite Rodney Archer go to the line for 2.
He's watching a baseball game.
So
it's a real shame that there's not a full student section in the house tonight to watch Rodney shoot these free throws.
Yeah.
The games that we've been at that have had those when Rodney's come in have been electric, as he'll nail the first one.
Yes, good job, Rodney. Like we said, definitely a fan favorite. And Rodney can really shoot the ball. We saw that a lot on JV last year when he filled it up. 1 out of 2. And Finnegan Black comes down with a rebound. Great pass. Trey Ferguson, what a steal and a save by Trey. Trey was at the state capitol this morning with the football seniors. There's that three-pointer from Rodney that we talked about. He looks really comfortable with that step back.
He does.
I mean, that's kind of his shot. Then the lefty. Well, if you're a Titan fan, what your hope is that you get another shot at Stab in the Prep League tournament, which the way the bracket's going to shake out, for one thing, it means if you play Stab again, it means you're in the final because they're on the opposite side of the bracket. And I think, obviously, we can't say when you lose by 30 that, like, we'll certainly beat them next time. That would be unrealistic. But I do think not having Devion Brown is a factor. The early foul trouble didn't help. But I'm excited to see what the Titans are able to do next week as the 3 seed in the Prep League tournament. Loose ball. Trey Ferguson spin move to fellow senior football player Carter Schuma, who was also at the state capitol this morning. And anyone who joined us late, I really thought our halftime interview with Coach Sam Mickens was great. Any Titan fan would want to hear that. We'll try and clip it and get it up on the website as a standalone interview because the game will probably only be up till the morning. But when this game's over, rewind to halftime and listen to the words Coach Mickens had about this football season and the senior class. It's really, if you're watching this game still, you obviously love high school sports, or you wouldn't be tuned in on a Friday night to a 32-point game. And if you love high school sports, Coach Mickens and his words are kind of what it's all about.
Ben.
Cam Lindo's 3, no good. Want to thank our whole crew here tonight. Ben Snyder, who did stats after playing in the JV game and helping JV get their JV Prep League title this year for the Titans. So that's a really good sign for the future as they beat Stab to be the unofficial but JV Prep League champions. Rodney with another step back. This one not as successful. And this last minute's been a little bit sloppy.
Yeah.
But Stab's just going to hold on to it, and your final score will be St. Anne's Belfield 75, Trinity Episcopal 43. Again, please join us Tuesday for Prep League quarterfinal.
Against Fork Union.
Should be against Fork Union. And congratulations to Stab. They just accomplished something that has not happened many times in the illustrious history of the Virginia Prep League, which is an undefeated regular season. That is not easy to do. I mean, you see these guys, and it's hard to imagine how they wouldn't go undefeated. But it's still, you gotta go on the road, play in hostile environments, and heck of a season for Stab. And we'll see if it continues. Well, it will continue, certainly, of course, next week in the Prep League, but I think these guys are poised to make a deep run in the state tournament. And we hope the Titans make the state tournament. We'll find out about that next Sunday. Yeah. Ryan, final thoughts?
Not many. I just kind of echo what you said about, this Stab team really is, like, just above what I think has been in this gym this year. And so, they came in and I really want to point it out what you said about that confidence that they just walked onto the court with, and the desire of them to just be on this court and fun-loving basketball, and that's how they played tonight. So
yeah, for any
that's just
any Stab fans that have stuck around with us. I mean, we should remind y'all. I mean, coming to this game at home, Trinity was like 10-1 or 11-1. I mean, just the one loss, like you said. So, I mean, we're 15-8, third in the Prep League. I mean, Stab just came in here and won by 30, too. I mean, so point being, like, Trinity's a good team.
Yeah.
And that just speaks to what you're saying, that this Stab team is special, though. So congratulations to Stab, the whole coaching staff, and looking forward to next week's Prep League tournament. One of my favorite sporting events every year, and I think Stab, of course, obviously is going to be the 1 seed and the team to beat, but we hope our Titans can make a run next week, and it starts here. Tuesday night, that's our next broadcast. Thanks to everybody who tuned in tonight. Thanks to Ben Snyder again on stats. Thanks to executive producer Ash Bell, my co-commentator Ryan Lloyd. I'm Rick Hamlin. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great weekend.